Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with the Atak Sportz for this Monday, April 27th, 2015. Hope everyone had a good weekend, especially for sports stuff. Let's kick things off with UFC news. We had one pay-per-view with an uneventful ending, and the next pay-per-view's big main event is a major Jeopardy. Let's kick this off with, of course, this past Saturday's UFC 186. Now, I saw, the first couple fights. I had to leave early because I had a podcast with the WWE analyst predicting Extreme Rules. That video is on my channel, so I had to leave early. We were supposed to do it later, but he kept pushing it up, so I had to do it early, so I had to leave UFC a little bit early. I did see the first couple fights of the card, including the bantamweight fight, Tom Alameda taking on Yves Jubin with a TKO as they get him down on the ground. Then John McDeasy taking on Shane Campbell, catchweight. That was a TKO as well. That was okay, a little fight. Both fights were just okay. I was just too. I watched him a little bit. I was too distracted because I was getting ready for this podcast, and I was hoping to do it there, but the reception wasn't good, so I had to go home and do it. So then the other three fights, I didn't see them. I saw a little bit of Bisping and CB Dalloway, but I left after that fight. And Bisping won by unanimous decision. In middleweight, Quentin Jackson, Rampage returned after a couple years away from UFC. After all the legal bullshit with Bellator, he got back in the game against Fabio Maldonado, winning in a unanimous decision. And Demetrius Johnson, now people like him because he's not as exciting as the other major champions. He's flyweight, but he got the latest stoppage in UFC history: 4 minutes, 59 seconds, in the 5th round. Up to the last second of the 5th. That's insane. But he has no competition. He squashes everybody. Kind of like what Bones does. So, I heard people left early. I heard people left during the main event. Because the main event was just a squash. It was a 5-round squash, basically. Because Demetrius was just destroying his Gucci Hawaguchi. That was his challenger. So, there you go. Now, one pay-per-view's down. Another one's coming up in May. And we should have known that this really stacked card set for May 23rd was too good to be true. We knew some bullshit was going to happen, whether it's someone getting injured, someone getting drug-free, or in this case, someone being seeked for a hit-and-run. Of course, the news was circulating last night about Jon Bones Jones getting involved in a hit-and-run in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is wanted for questioning. And he's considered a suspect in a hit-and-run accident. And according to the police report, a silver SUV made an illegal turn at a red light, hitting a passenger car and knocking that car into a third vehicle. The police report says witnesses saw a man exit the SUV and flee on foot. And witnesses also said that the man, who in question could be Jon Jones, then returned to the SUV where he grabbed a large handful of cash, which he shoved into his pants before jumping a fence and running away. Now, in that, we've also heard he was in suspicion of cocaine possession. I thought he went to rehab for that, but he only lasted a day. Anyway, they said inside the SUV, they found car rental paperwork bearing the name Jonathan Jones with MMA info on it. The police also said that a marijuana pipe with marijuana was inside. Like I said, he was suspicious of drug as well. Not cocaine, but it's marijuana. And there's many things. Despite that, there was rumors that he was already out of the car, but as of right now, his status is definitely in doubt. This is already a stat card, especially after UFC 186 underwhelmed. We don't want another main event to get canceled in another card. You know what I mean? We don't want another lost main event. You know what I mean? Hopefully, Bonesy stays out of trouble by then. Like I said, right now, he's being summoned for questioning, not arresting. So we'll see how this all unfolds when it involves Jon Bones Jones' status for UFC 187. As of right now, it's unknown. Let's get into wrestling. Start with TNA. Now, before we get to TNA Impact Wrestling results, big news in the world of Impact today as a new creative team writer has been revealed from the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan. Now, he is a pro wrestling fan. He had his own indie wrestling organization in Chicago. And he's a friend of TNA. He is a friend of theirs. That is joining TNA as a senior producer, creative and talent development, and senior producer of creative and talent development effective immediately. In this position, Corgan will develop characters and create storylines for TNA Impact Wrestling. He said in the press release, "I'm saying that I'm humbled and honored by this opportunity to be part of TNA, a world-class wrestling company, is an understatement and a dream come true. What's great in the entire TNA organization is the entire TNA organization stands in full support of my musical life. Of course, he's touring Smashing Pumpkins this summer with Marilyn Manson. That's interesting. That he's going to be a creative producer for TNA, yet he's still touring this summer with the Smashing Pumpkins with Marilyn Manson this summer. In return, I'm fully committed to using my 30 years of entertainment experience, along with my deep-rooted passion for pro wrestling, to take on the thrilling challenge of creatively contributing to Impact Wrestling, finding and developing new talent, and working eye to eye with the best of the best. For as cultures currently evolve at great speed, so much pro wrestling. He wants to break the norm when it comes to pro wrestling. He doesn't want the good guy, bad guy. We'll see how he does. I think it's an interesting thing. You know, Billy Corgan is not just some person who wants to be in wrestling just because of it's wrestling. He likes it. He's a fan. So, and he, like I said, he has his own wrestling organization in Chicago. Yeah, he was like a president of an indie organization in Chicago. So it's kind of interesting to see Billy Corgan being involved in TNA wrestling as creative. Now, of course, TNA did air on Friday. It was a night of knockouts with a lot of things happen. We have a new number contender knockouts title. It was an okay little matchup. The Fatal 4 was pretty good. I used to say knockouts used to be the best women's division, but now WWE's NXT is the best women's division. With Brooke getting the win in a little good Fatal 4-way. Then we had Taryn Terrell against Awesome Kong. This was a swerve no one saw coming. Taryn won a no DQ match. It was because she's now the leader of the Dollhouse. Jade and I forgot the other girl's name. The one with the big afro. They helped Taryn put Awesome Kong through a table and gave her the victory in this no DQ match. And Taryn, like, no one saw this coming. And when she got out of it, like, her demeanor just changed, you know. It's intriguing. It's interesting. I'll say this much. The Dollhouse is creepy. They're creepy, but interesting creepy. It's like they're like kooky. You know what I mean? And Taryn, when she spoke after she made the swerve, you know, when she said she was the leader of the Dollhouse, she spoke differently. You know what I mean? She wasn't a good girl anymore. She was an evil, bad girl. Yee. She's evil. Indeed. I used to love doing that with kind of anyway, so we have that. Plus, we were supposed to have Kurt Angle against Eric Young. But then Austin Aries was going to cash in his Feast of Fire briefcase, but EY, the lunatic EY, attacked Austin before the match even started. So the match never even happened. You know what I'm smelling? I smell triple fat. He was once again screwed out of a one-on-one match. He needs a one-on-one. And that's why he did Aries. He deserves a one-on-one match, not a triple threat. So there you go, TNA. Let's get on down the wall preview tonight after Extreme Rules. Of course, my reviews aren't here of Extreme Rules on this channel, but I want to say a little bit more, especially about the main event. Thinking about it one day later, for this being Seth Rollins' first title defense, it was not a good one. Because it was a shitty ending, screwy ending, with the RKO being used by Rollins. Now, I said in my review, but I'll say it again, I'll get to that when we get to question number 1. Of our top 4 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 4, will there be any matches announced for Payback? We do know one. Sadly, the Cena-Rusev feud will continue. Despite Cena beating Rusev for a second time, we're going to have the 4th match at Payback in an I Quit match. The match that should have been that last night instead of a Washington chain. So it's extended. I think a lot of us screw Rusev because we saw a lot of waving to the fans during the pay-per-view match Extreme Rules. So I think a lot of it will be a big factor this time, and like a really big factor in the ending of the match. I bet you should like throw the towel in. I said that last night in my review. So there you go. Question number 3. We'll go down when the King of the Ring returns. Now, we saw an ad last night about the WWE Network shows this week, And we saw one that interested us. King of the Ring, taking place Tuesday. Now, here's the deal. We got official details. The King of the Ring is back for the first time in years. And the quarterfinals will take place on War night. And the semis and the finals will be on WWE Network tomorrow. They're really egging it up because in the last couple of days of April, they're really egging on the fact that April's still free. So that's why they're doing the finals on the network. Here's the quarterfinal bracket. In the quarterfinals, match number 1, we got Dolph Ziggler, who fresh from kissing Sheamus' ass, even though he won the match, taking on Bad News Barrett, coming off a loss against Neville last night, and at the pre-show after Daniel Bryan got injured. I'll get to him in a second. Then we got another quarterfinal match, Stardust and R-Truth. Then we have Sheamus, former King of the Ring, taking on Dean Ambrose. Of course, Sheamus losing, but ended up winning anyway. And Ambrose defeating Luke Harper, who ironically is taking on Neville tonight. Here's my predictions. I say Barrett beats Ziggler, because I'm hearing Ziggler may leave the company. Then Stardust defeats Barrett. Then Sheamus defeats Ambrose. And Neville defeats Luke Harper. And the new King of the Ring, either Barrett or Neville. I hope it's one of those two. One of the Brits. So let's see what happens with King of the Ring tonight. You know what the King of the Ring winner should also get? The Intercontinental Championship. Which leads to question number 2. What's the status of the IC Championship? Now, Daniel Bryan's neck problems are starting to bug him again, as he was taken off of the Extreme Rules call last night, unable to defend the championship. Thus, Bad News Barrett took on Neville in the pre-show. The tag team match was a good tag team match with the new champs. New Day sucks. Getting the main card slot with those unique circumstances. It was a good match though. But we'll see what happens with the status. I think they should strip D-Bry the championship and don't drag it. Like the last time D-Bry put WWE in a precarious position. They dragged on the process of him being stripped of the WWE Championship for like a month. They should not do that this time. Just strip him and give the winner of the King of the Ring the championship. That's what I think they should do. Give the IC title belt to the winner of the King of the Ring. You're not just competing for King of the Ring. You're competing for the forfeited Intercontinental Championship. That's what I think they should do. But we'll see how they're going to handle it. Will D-Bry still be champ or not? We shall see what they're going to do. Because I'm hearing he might be out for a month. That could break the must defend within 30 days. So we'll see how it all pans out. But we should get an answer about that. Question number 1. Will Kane finally turn the authority? And what will happen about the screwy ending of last night's Extreme Rules? Now, Randy Orton did use the RKO, which was banned, but on Kane. But then Rollins RKO'd Orton and got the win. I said this in my review last night, but I'll say it again. They need to clarify on the stipulation. Was Orton only banned from using it? Or was everybody banned from using it? You know what I mean? I think it was probably, they're probably going to say, Orton was not allowed to use it, but I could. He wasn't allowed to, but I could. Like anybody else but Orton was allowed to use it. That's probably what they're going to say. And Kane, he chokeslammed Rollins and Orton, but he still kind of helped Rollins win. I knew Kane would get involved, and I knew there'd be interference, despite the fact that steel cage match is supposed to keep people out, but still there's still interference. But it was overly done. So much interference. It spoiled the match, unlike the Mania match. The interference at Mania was minimal. But this match, it was overdone. It was a clusterfuck, basically. So let's just see if Kane finally turns on authority tonight or not. On War tonight at 8/7 Central on USA Network. That's it for the Atak Sportz for today. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for what we be tonight. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the news from Zach. See you later, yeah.